Shalom, 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 shalom. As always, first I want to give all the praises and the glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and to the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to the apostles, and to the elders of Great Millstone, shalom to the 144,000 elect of the children of Israel, and to the 1/3 mixed multitude, men, women, who the Bible refers to as the remnant, the chosen, that make up the rest of the Israelites, who will be delivered on the day of judgment. All praises and glory. So today's edification is to see Jacobites, black people of the royal court. I think I call it that, probably black people of the royal courts of Great Britain, which is England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. All right. Now, as you can see, what we've got on the screen here, these are the memoirs of the Secret Services of John Macky. Now, this was during the reign of King William, Queen Anne, as you can see, King William, Queen Anne, and King George I. Now, he was like what we would call today MI5 or MI6, worked for the Secret Service of the United Kingdom today, or equivalent to what you would say, the CIA, the secret services that you see today, basically, that work for their governments, that go to countries, within organizations, within establishments, to find out who's who, to get enough information on them so that when they need to do what they have to do, whatever it is they decide they want to do, or just to get enough information to know who they're dealing with. So he was the head man. He was in charge of the Secret Services, as you can see, during the reigns of King William, Queen Anne. All right. Now, it says here, including also the true secret history of the rife promotions of the English, Scots, of the English and Scots nobility, officers, civil, military, naval, and other persons of definition from the Revolution, all right, in their respective characters at large, drawn up by Mr. Macky, a person, or I think that's pursuant to the direction of Her Royal Highness Princess Sophia. All right. So this is published from the original manuscripts as attested by his son, Spring Macky. All right. So the second edition, London. All right. I think this shows you here. The New Public Library. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to see the description of all of these people that John Macky, who was the charge of the Secret Services, right, during the reigns of King William, Queen Anne, and King George I, right, of the United Kingdom, right? We're going to see who these people are, who he went to spy on, and what they actually looked like compared to what they say they look like today, all right? So we're going to compare the original notes and description that John Macky brought back to Queen Anne, King William, and King George, compared to the descriptions of these people who they claim to be today, right? So we're going to start in, hold on, let me just, so what does it say here? So to the Prince of Wales, it is humbly presumed that there will not need any stronger motive to incite your Royal Highness perusal of these papers, right? I think that word perusal means carefully going over these papers, right? Then the authority of your most illustrious predecessor, whose stamp they bear, The great esteem which the Electric Dowager of the Hanover had for Mr. Macky's services is here apparent under her own hand. It says here, it says, all therefore that is further necessary is only to assure your Royal Highness that that these characters are faithfully printed from the author's original manuscript, right? Straight from the manuscripts that John Macky put together, right? Because it's his son that put this all of it together, right? And were drawn up by the direction of the Princess Sophia, as is attested both by himself and his son. All right. It says, I am your Royal Highness most devoted humble servant. All right. So this is dated September the 20th, 1732, as you can see quite clearly here. So let's get to where we want to go to now. Let's go. Because I've got the book here myself, right? You can actually buy this book and you can actually get it online as well. All right. So I'm going to go to where we want to start here. All right. Characters of the court of Great Britain. All right. So these are the characters of the court. It says the Royal Highness, His Royal Highness Prince George, husband to Queen Anne and Lord High Admiral of England. So these are the characters of the court of Great Britain, which is England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. Because at this time, Great Britain represented all of those places. Okay, so we're going to start. Where's the first place? I think, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to open my book here to find the pages that we need to go to in this document here. All right, because I have a copy, just so you know. I have a copy, all right, of the book here. All right, this is it here. You can see it properly. All right, so I'm going to open this book here to find the correct pages, and then I'm going to bring the information to you. Okay. All right. So let's go back here. Let's go back to the actual book here, which I've got here online as well. So we're going to see who these people are and what they really look. We're going to see what John Macky described these people look like. And let's see what they tell you today, what they look like. We're going to compare the original notes to what we see today on Wikipedia and all of these other places that they have information regarding what these people supposedly look like today. Okay. So we're going to go to the first page. We're going to go to is the first person. And I'm only going to read you their names and then give you their descriptions. All right. So first person is Charles, Duke of Somerset, right? Master of the Horse. All right. Charles, Duke of Somerset, Master of the Horse, right? So let's go and see what it says here he looks like, right? Okay. All right. On the Queen's ascension to the throne, he was made Master of the Horse and appears at court with a great deal of warmth for a party that seems to suffer by King William's death, right? He is of middle stature, well shaped, a very black complexion, a lover of music and poetry, all right? A lover of music and poetry, of good judgment, but by reason of a great hesitation in his speech, once expression, he is about 42 years old. So it says here, he is what? He is a very black complexion, very black complexion. So let's see what they got him up here. Charles Seymour, the 6th Duke of Somerset. This is the person that we're looking at. As you can see, they're giving you an Edomite. All right, this is what they've done. So they've given you the image of an Edomite. Well, we know that Charles Seymour, Charles Duke of Somerset, Master of the Horse, was an actual black man with a very black complexion. All right. So we're going to go through. I'm going to see how many of these that we can go through today, right? Because there's a lot. Trust me, there's a lot. All right. So we may not even bring out many scriptures, just maybe one or two on the way. All right. So the next one is John, Duke of Buckinghamshire. See if we can find John, Duke of Buckinghamshire here. So William, where is he? Oops, sorry. Here he is. John, Duke of Buckinghamshire. All right. So John, Duke of Buckinghamshire. So on the next page, it shows his description. So let's go to the next page here. Right. He is a nobleman of learning and good natural parts, but of no principles, violent for the high church, yet seldom goes to it, very proud, insolent, and covetous, and takes all advantages. In paying his debts, unwilling, and is neither esteemed nor beloved, for notwithstanding his great interest at court, it is certain he has none in either House of Parliament or in the country. He is of a middle stature, of a brown complexion, like myself. I'm a brown complexion, right? With a sour, lofty look, nearly 60 years old. So let's see if we can find what he looks like, right? This is John, Duke of Buckinghamshire. John, Duke of Buckinghamshire, right? John, Duke of Buckingham. Whoops. Let's have a quick look. John of Sheffield, Duke of Buckinghamshire, right? Let's have a quick look. Let's have a Wikipedia look. Let's see what he looks like. Is this man of any brown complexion? No. Another Edomite. John Duke. This is John Sheffield, first Duke of Buckinghamshire. See? John, Earl of Mulgrave, Lord Chamberlain, right? There you go. A cracker. Edomite. Well, we know he is of middle stature, of a brown complexion of 40, right? Brown complexion with a sour, lofty look, near 60 years old. Strike 2. Let's go to the next person. Sidney Lord Golphin. All right. Page 23. Here we go. Sidney Lord Golphin, Lord Treasurer of England. Right. He's the Lord Treasurer of England. Let's see what he looks like. Go to the next page. Let's find his description. Okay. He has an admirable, clear understanding of slow speech, with an awful, serious deportment. Does more than he promises, an enemy of flattery, show, and violence, and of very hard assess, but that being equally denied to all degrees of people, make it improbable of a low statute, right? It makes it apportable, is of a low statute, thin, with a very black and stern countenance, near 60 years old. So we know your countenance, talking about your face, right? A very black and stern countenance. So let's have a look, see what he looks like. Sidney Lord, let's just get him up here. Sidney, SY Let's spell his name. Hold on. Sydney Lord Gold. Here he is. Sydney Lord Goldafin. Right? That's what he looks like. another Edomite. Once again. Sydney Lord Goldfinner. So they give us no Edomite. Whereas the description says he's thin with a very black and stern countenance, near 60 years old. Well, another Edomite lie. All right. Remember, these are the royal members of the Royal Court of Great Britain, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, right? So this is Sir. So he's a lord within the royal courts, right? If it says Sir, that means they're a lord. All right? Just so you understand. That's when you're knighted. When you get knighted, that's when you become a lord. So let's go to the next one. Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, right? Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, right? Let's just get him up. Daniel, Earl of Nottingham. Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, Secretary of State. The Right Honourable. Let's get him up. Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, right? Daniel Finn, 2nd Earl of Nottingham, all right? So let's see what it says here. Let's see what John Macky said Daniel actually looked like when he actually, remember, this is John Macky, head of the Secret Services, right? Great Britain. He is the man, and he's that went personally to spy on all of these people and to get the information on them, on their habits, their weaknesses, you know, their strengths, and what they looked like as well. All right. Remember, this is a first-hand witness. This is the man that went. This man lived this man lived at the same time that these people lived. Right. He's not getting this second-hand, third-hand, or fourth-hand. He lived at the same time as them, and he saw them face to face, and he was around them. So he brought back these descriptions of these people. So let's see what Daniel looks like, right? Let's see what he actually says Daniel looks like. So he has also the exterior air of business and the application enough to make him very capable. In his habit and manners are very formal. A tall, thin, very black man, like a Spaniard, you know, or Jew. Praise the Bashim Habashah. About 50 years old. So he's even compared him to the Israelites. Because remember, these are Jacobites. These people that we are talking about here are Israelites that call themselves Jacobites. All right. These are the people that were all loyal to King James the First of England and the Sixth of Scotland, and to his sons Charles the First, Charles the Second, and his other son James the Second of England, James the Seventh of Scotland. Right? These were Jacobites. They were loyal to the James family. They were all these are Israelites that were in the royal courts of England, that ran the United Kingdom. This is what you must understand. So these so-called black people that we are showing you are all Israelites, right? That will call themselves Jacobites, that were loyal to King James and his offsprings, right? Before they were finally taken down by what's his name, Cromwell and his crew. So they're telling he's a black man, just like a Spaniard, right? Because remember, most of the Spaniards were conquered by the Moors, so the Moors still lived amongst the Spaniards, and the Moors were all Israelites. Remember that was worshipping Islam, the Moors that conquered Spain and Portugal, and then they were finally removed from power by Queen Isabella of Spain and King Ferdinand of Portugal when they joined together to take down the Moors. Right? It's just like a Spaniard or Jew. So even they know that the Jews that were practicing Jews, practicing Israelites, were so-called black people. Just so you understand. So he's telling you about this man here. All right? He's telling you about, we're speaking now of Daniel Earl of Nottingham, Secretary of State. So he's the Secretary of State of England, this man here. He's telling you, in his habit and manners, very formal, a tall, thin, very black man, like a Spaniard or Jew, about 50 years old. All right? So you would have had those that were practicing Israelites, practicing Jews, and you would have had those Israelites that were practicing Christianity, but they were actual Israelites. And that's who these people are in the courts of Great Britain. All of these people that we're looking at, these are Israelites that ruled the United Kingdom and made up the majority of the royalty and the lords within the United Kingdom during this time. All right. So let's go to the next candidate. Lawrence Earl of Rochester, page 29. Let's grab it. Lawrence Earl of Rochester, page 29. So when I say page 29, the page numbers are different to the amount of pages it shows you here. Right? Page 29. Lawrence Earl of Rochester. So let's get him up. Lawrence Earl of Rochester. Let's see what they say he looks like, right? Lawrence Earl of Rochester. Let's spell that right. Lawrence. Let's get it up here. It's easy when you go Google it, they get it. Google will correct you. Lawrence Earl of Rochester. There we go. All right. So this is the image of Lawrence. This is who they're telling you Lawrence Earl of Rochester is, right? Let's see what James Macky said he looked like, right? What page is the description on? Let me quickly get it. It's on the next page. So page 30 has his description, right? Let's see what it says. He is easily wound up to a passive, right? To a passive. I think that's PASSI, which is the reason why he often, I think that says, loses himself in debates of the House peers, and the opposite party knew well how to attack him, as to make great stock of knowledge fail him, is notwithstanding one of the few men in England for interest, especially the church party, and is very zealous to his friends. He is of middle stature, well shaped, of a brown complexion, about 60 years old. Of a brown complexion, right? About 60 years old, right? So let's just quickly go to him. Let me just check something out a minute. 1 second, family. Brown complexion. Well, there you go. They give you another Edomite. What did we just read? He is of middle stature, well shaped, of a brown complexion, of 60 years old. Well, this man is not of a brown complexion, right, at all. All right. This man is of a Caucasian complexion, right? A shade of pink, pale. He's a pale complexion. Once again, let's go to the next one. Thomas Duke of Leeds. Is that? No, not him. Sorry, that's not one. John Duke of Newcastle, page 35. Let's grab him up. Let's see what it says here. John Duke of Newcastle. Let's see what they have today. Let's see what they have today telling you what he looks like. John Duke of Newcastle. This is John, Duke of Newcastle. Let's see what John Macky said this man actually looks like. Remember, these are originals, all right? Page 35, I want, right? 33, 34, page 35. John, Duke of Newcastle. All right, let's have a look. John, Duke of Newcastle, is of the name of Hollis, was the Earl of Clear before the Revolution, and married a daughter of the late Duke of Newcastle, who died without heirs or male. King William created this gentleman a duke and gave him the garter. He has the he has the best estate in England and employs most of his time in improving it. Is very covetous, yet makes a great figure at his seat in Yorkshire. Is of firm for his contribution of his country, and has one only daughter who will be the richest heiress, listen carefully, the richest heiress in Europe, right? He is a black, ruddy complexion man, near 60 years old. Let me say this again. He is a black, ruddy complexion man, near 60 years old. He is one of the richest men in Europe, and on his death, his daughter will be the richest heiress in Europe. That's how rich this man was. He is a black, ruddy complexion man near 60 years old. This is what they got for you, family. They gave you this Edomite. They want you to believe that this man was an Edomite. Once again, this is why the scripture says, I'm going to give you one scripture. We're going to go back to the book. Is it Psalms 58? I want. Whoa, is it down? The Blue Letter Bible keeps on going down, boy, recently. Let's see. Psalms 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. So this is them, the wicked, who are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. Well, this is another lie, once again, as you can see. All right. Now we're going by the original manuscripts, the original descriptions of these people. Remember, this document was put together in 1720? Let me just make sure. Just get the correct date when this was done. This was put together. This information was collated and collected in 1732. 1732. So we're talking roughly nearly 18, 19, 20, nearly 300 years ago. These are the original manuscripts showing the descriptions of these people. Remember, Mr. Macky, right? He's going into all of these courts, the courts of Germany, right? At the direction of Princess Sophia's desire to give her the characters of the English and Scottish nobility. This is what he was doing. He was a spy that came to the United Kingdom, should I say. Let's just see what it says here. Discovers the plot and rights of view of King James's court. Yeah, because Princess Sophia, I believe, at the desire for Royal Highness Princess Sophia. Yeah. Princess Sophia, let me just see. We're going to go back to where we was. Where was we? 27, 35, right. He's doing this at the behest of, I believe, If I say Princess Sophia, right, was the 12th child and 5th daughter of King George III and Queen Charlotte. Okay, right, right, right. And we know Queen Charlotte was a black woman as well, not a so-called white woman, European. All right. So he's 777 was 12th child. Okay. Electorate. Yeah. Yeah, during the reign of Queen and King Jim. Okay, right, right, right. Okay. Yeah. Spring Maccabee. Yep. Okay. So he brought this to light by the behest of Princess Sophia. She wanted all of this information made public of what he found. So she was the one that got him to make her, this lady here, Princess Sophia, all right, who's the daughter of King George III and Queen Charlotte. Queen Charlotte, as we know, is a Moor, all right? She was an Israelite as well. She's doing it at the behest, and we believe also this man here, King George, was a Moor, all right? She's doing it at the behest. He's doing it. She's making this information public. So the son has brought this to the son of John Macky has brought this to Princess Sophia because she is the one that wanted all of this information to made public for the general public to see. Just so you understand. Uh, so let's go to the next one. So as we can see here, this guy here, John, the Duke, John Holmes, Duke of Newcastle. Once again, they're giving you an Edomite, so-called white man. All right, just so you can see, just so you can see what's going on. Let's keep on going because there's quite a few, and I need to show you as much as I can. So this video may be a little bit longer than you think, but if you truly want to know how this devil lies about who the royalty were and what they looked like in the United Kingdom during these times of King James, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Anne, King George III, King William, King Charles I, King Charles II, King James II. These people were all Jacobites. These were all so-called black people. These were Israelites that were sitting on the throne of the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. And literally the majority of their court was made up of so-called black people, which we know today to be Jacobites. The Jacobites are Israelites. These are who the Jacobites are. Jacobism was a political movement that supported the restoration of the senior line of the House of Stuart. The House of Stuart goes back to Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary, Queen of Scots is the mother of King James, right? To the British throne. The name derives from the first name of James II of England, which is rendered in Latin Jacobus, all right? So this is who they were, the Jacobites. The Jacobites were not white people, Caucasian Edomites. They were so-called black people who were Israelites, not necessarily practicing Israelites, but they were Israelites that were practicing Christianity, basically, all right? So they knew where their line went back to. This is the House of Stuart, right? And all of those that were part of the royal court. That's why they're called Jacobites, right? To bring them back to the throne. So I remember Mary, Queen of Scots, is the sister of Queen Elizabeth. They were sisters. They're both daughters of Henry VIII. I think one's the daughter of Anne Boleyn. I think Elizabeth is the daughter of Anne Boleyn, all right, I believe. And Mary, Queen of Scots, is the daughter of, I forget her name. I think her mum's name was Mary something. But just to show, this is who they are. These are who the Jacobites are. All right, they're from the house of Stuart. So let's get back to the description of these people, right? Of these royalties and these lords and these dukes that were in England. Right, let's go to the next one. Charles, which is on the next page here, right? Charles Linus, Duke of Richmond, all right? He says he is a gentleman. He is son to King Charles. This is Charles Linus, Duke of Richmond, all right? He is the son to King Charles II by the Duchess of Portsmouth. So this is the son to King Charles II, right? Which is the Duchess of Portsmouth, right? He was carried by his mother into France in the region in the reign of King James, all right? And left France in the reign of King William when he declared himself for the religion and contribution of his country. He is a gentleman, good-natured to a fault, very well bred, and has many valuable things in him. Is an enemy to, is it business? B-U-S, business. I believe that's what it says, business. Very credulous, well-shaped, black complexion, much like King Charles. Oh my gosh. Much like King Charles, not 30 years old. So he was very black, dark complexion, just like his father, King Charles. So let's get this one up. King Charles is the son of King Charles II, right? So let's get up King Charles II first. So he was black, just like his father, King Charles II. King Charles II, all right? King Charles II, King of Scotland, all right? So King Charles II, King of Scotland. So they're saying his son, let's just go back to show what it says there. It says, remember, is the son of King Charles II, right? This is King Charles III. He is a gentleman, good-natured, of thought, to business, and very credulous, very shaped, well-shaped, black complexion. That's your skin, family. Much like King Charles, his father. So he was a black man like King Charles. You can see here, they give me a white man. So this is not King Charles I, because his son was black. This is why we have pubs in England called the Black Boy, because they were named after King Charles I, because he was so dark-skinned when he was born. So all over England, there are pubs called the Black Boy. They were named in respect to King James's son, King Charles I. So that's the father. Let's see what the son looks like. King Charles II. Let's see who's got his children here. Charles I, Charles I. That's Charles I. So this is, we'll be looking at here. Oh, this is Charles II. Just make sure we're looking at the right one. He's a son to King Charles. Okay, that's the father. So this is the father. So his son would have been, let's see, we've got his children here. His children, Charles Fitzgerald, Charles II Duke, Charles II Duke, Charles, is it this one here, Lennox of Richmond? Yeah, Duke of Richmond. Charles Lennox, Duke of Richmond. Charles Lennox, Duke of Richmond. Let's have a look. This is the son, right? Who we're describing. This man ain't got no black complexion. This is another Edomite. And this is the son of King Charles. King Charles is the son of King James. So when we tell you that King James, the first of England, and King James, the sixth of Scotland, was a black man, you must truly understand. These were Israelites. They called themselves Jacobites that ruled Great Britain, England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and France as well. So this is the son. This ain't a black man they got here. This is another white man, another cracker, another lie. Once again, just to show you. Black complexion. Much like King Charles, not 30 years old, much like his father. So another lie. This is the grandson of King James the First of England, King James the Sixth of Scotland. Hence where we get the King James, the translation of the King James Bible from, was from his grandfather. And we tell you all the time that King James is a so-called black man. He's an Israelite. Believed goes back to the tribes of Judah. But they are Jacobites. They call themselves Jacobites, all belonging to the Stuart family. So let's go to the next one. George Fitzroy, Duke of Northumberland. That's on page 39. Page 39, 38. Page 39. George Fitzroy, Duke of Northumberland. All right? Let's see what his description is, right? He is the son to King Charles II by the Duchess of Cleveland. This is another one of King Charles' son, the second, right? Grandson of King James. Was one of the captain of King James's horse guards, which he equipped at the Revolution, and never had any post, though sometimes presents from the king, all of King William's reign. On the Queen's accession to the throne, which is Queen Anne, he was made constable of Windsor Castle and lieutenant general, and had my Lord of Oxford's regiment of horse. Let's see his description. He is a man of honour, nice in paying his debts, living well with his neighbours in the country, does not much care for the conversation of the men of quality or business, is a tall, black man, like his father, the king, about 40 years old. So this is George Fitzroy, Duke of Northumberland. This is the son of King Charles II, right? Duke of Northumberland, right? He's a tall black man like his father, the king. So let's have a look. So this is his brother, which we know is a black man. He's not a so-called white man. This is the brother. Let's find him, right? These are all his sons, right? He was of Northumbria, right? Let's find him. Plymouth, Cleveland, Grafton, Landfield. This is him here. George mind these devils, boy. This is him here. Let's see if they've got another photo of him. No, okay, it's fine. See? Another cracker, another Edomite they're giving you. What does the memoir say? What does the actual description, the real true description of this man say? He is a man of honor, nice in paying his debts, living well with his neighbors in the country, does not much care for the conversation of men of quality or business, is a tall black man, not a tall white man or tall Caucasian man or tall European man. He's a tall black man, just like his father, the king. So this is another grandson of King James I of England, King James VI of Scotland, right? The son of Mary Queen of Scots, and his father was, I forget his father's name, was Bruce something. All right. This is the grandson of them. This is the son of King Charles II. They're giving you a white man. Again, another lie. Another absolute lie by these devils. Man, I'm gonna keep showing you this shit. You need to know these things. Charles, Duke of Alban. Charles, Duke of Alban, is the son of King Charles II. This is another son of King Charles II, right? By Mrs. Gwynn, was made by King William one of the bedchambers and captains of the band of pensioners, and sent by that king to France to congratulate the marriage of the Duke of Burgundy, right? Let's see what he looks like. Oops, sorry. He is a gentleman every way, deborn natural, well bred, does not love business, is well affected to the constitution of his country. He is of a black complexion, not so tall as the Duke of Northumberland, yet very like King Charles, turn of 30 years. So they were all dark skinned like their father, the sons of King Charles II. So this is Charles, Duke of St. Albans, right? Let's have a look what they got for you. This is another one of King Charles II, his son, right? Who is a dark-skinned black man, not this white Caucasian that they're showing you. So this is the son, St. Alban. Let's find him. Here he is. Charles Buick, first Duke of St. Oh my gosh. They got this faggot-looking motherfucker. Charles Buick, Duke of St. Albans, son of Nell Gwyn and Charles II of England. All right? Let's have a look. Let's see what. Remember, he is the son of King Charles II by Mrs. Gwyn. That's Nell Gwyn. That's his mum. All right? He is of a black complexion, not so tall as the Duke of Northumberland, yet very like King Charles, turned 30 years old. He is of a black complexion. Look at what they got you here. This is what they're giving you. Some faggot, mole-looking devil. I tell you, boy, the crimes of these people, man, truly. I said we might not find much time for scriptures because I want to try and go through as many of these people that were part of the royal courts of Great Britain to make you know that these devils are perpetual liars. Perpetual liars. Let's go to the next one. So these are, and these last three and four dukes that we looked at are all the sons of King Charles II and the grandsons of King James. Oh, man. Let's go to the next one, page 43. Page 42, page John, Duke of Montague. All right. Where is his description? His description is on the next page. Is the representative of the family of the Montague in England and made a considerable figure in the House of Commons and at the court in King Charles II's reign, and was an ambassador twice from that king to the court of France, right? So he was an ambassador. He was part of King Charles's court, all right? So he is on the next page, right? His description, because let's get it here. He's an admirer of learning, a learned man, especially the Buke's esprit and the Bell's letters, a good judge of architect and painting, as his first pictures of his house in Northamptonshire and London do show. He has of the best estates in England, which knows very well how to improve of a middle statue, including to furnish of a court. Dark complexion. Since the Queen's ascension to the throne, he has been created a duke and is near 60 years old. Dark complexion. Who are we looking at? We're looking at John, Duke of Montague. Let's have a look at John, Duke of Montague. John, I'm going to keep you up, man. John, Duke of Montague, right? Here he is. Let's have a look. Let's see if this is a man. I tell you, boy. It says John, Duke of Montague, is of dark complexion. Is there any darkness on this man here? This man is as pale as fuck. These devils are so wicked, boy. They lie. They lies. They lies. They lies. They lies. They lies. They lie. This is why the scripture says, "Never trust thy enemy." Let's quickly just find that one. I'm just trying to see what scriptures we can. Never trust. Hold on. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 12 or 12 and 10? Let's have a look. I've got to bring it out, man. It must be 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, you can't trust this man in anything. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. This is what we are doing right now. We are wiping a looking glass of all of these lies. All of these lies that they tell you about the royalty in Europe. When we tell you that, when they talk about the Dark Ages in Europe, it's because Europe was ruled by dark-skinned people, so-called black people. It says, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. As you can see, another absolute lie. John Duke. Look what they got here. It's mad. What does the memoir say? He says again, he has of the best estates in England, which knows very well how to improve of a middle statute, including 4 of a court, first, I think, finish up first of a court, dark complexion, inclining to, I can't think what that could say there, something of a course, but it's dark complexion. Dark complexion. Does that man, does he look dark complexion to you, family? Let's go to the next one. William Cavendish. William Cavendish of Harrington. Here he is. Marquis of Harrington. This is not him. This is not the actual guy. Cavendish, Marquis of Harrington. William Cavendish, Duke of Devonshire. He's the eldest son of the Duke of Devonshire. Let's get the Duke of Devonshire up. Duke of Devonshire, right? Right, let's find his son. Duke of Devonshire. Let's get, he's the eldest son. William, what's his name? William Cavendish Marquis. Subsidiary. That's not him. That's William III. Okay, here he is. Here he is. William Cavendish. Here he is. First Duke of Devonshire. Yeah, we got you. We got you. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at his description. Let's see what it says, right? I'm on the right page. I need to go to page 47. Sorry. Let's get this up. 48, 45, 46, 49, 48, 45. Where's 47? They haven't got it. They've skipped that one. Okay, they're not showing it. I've got it in my book, but they're not showing it here, page 47. Okay, no dramas. But I'm going to read out what it says. He says he is one of the beloved gentlemen by the country's party in England, a constant opposer of Mr. Howe and in the House of Commons, one who makes a great figure of his person, right? Taking this guy here. He says he is of a brown complexion, taller than a middle statue, not 40 years old. Well, this man is definitely not of a brown complexion, right? He's 100% not of a brown complexion. Let's go to the next one. John Lord Somers. John Lord Somers. John Lord Somers, which is on page 48. John Lord Somers, late Lord Chancellor, of incredible family in the city of Worcester. His father was an attorney and bred him to the law, which his profession of for some years before he was taken notice of. He has retained one of the councils of the 5 bishops in King James's reign, and behaves himself in the cause of so much applause, again him a very great reputation, and first brought him into the business. Right, let's go to his description, which is on page 50. So let's bring him up first. John Lord Somers, late Lord Chancellor. John Lord Somers. Here he is, former Lord Chancellor of Great Britain. Cool, that one nearly looks Jake, boy. Even that one looks nearly looks Jake. But let's just see what these devils have got for you. Look at that, man. Fucks. Oh, man. Let's have a look at his description. He is of a grave deportment, early, easy, and free in conversation. Something of a libertine, of middle stature, brown complexion, near 50 years old. Brown complexion, near 50 years old. Does this man have brown complexion? Does that man have brown complexion, family? Man, I want to see how many more. There's quite. You see how long we've gone into this video, because I don't want to make this to 56 minutes. Okay, all right. I mean, I think you've got the gist of it, right? I can go on and on and on. I can show you so much more. And I might even come back and give you a part 2 to this, because there's so much more in this book regarding this. But we're going to leave it there. All right. We're going to leave it there. We're just under the hour mark. All right. Like I said, I know I didn't bring out much scriptures, but I just wanted to show you the lies of this devil. The lies of this devil. They want you to believe that these people that ruled Great Britain during this time, during the times of King James, all the way up until the time of King George III and Queen Charlotte, they want you to believe all the way up until here, because this would have been these. Here. Here. Okay, so these would have been the last royal Queen Charlotte. These would have been the last royal black family of England. Would have been around her time here, Queen Charlotte, and her children, basically, that came from her. That would have been her, the Moors. She was a black woman. She wasn't a so-called white woman. Queen Charlotte. She descended from the Moors. But as you can see from the memoirs of let's go back to the 1 second. As you can see, right? These people, boy, I tell you. From the memoirs of John Macky, these are the official, that goes back to 1732, when these was put together. This is the true descriptions, depictions of these people that ruled these places. So on that note, I pray you were edified. I know I didn't give out many scriptures, just 1 or 2. This was more informational, just to show you the lies of this devil. All right. Well, praises and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Great Millstone. As I always have to say, keep praying, keep safe, repent, and hold on to this truth. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises, family. All praises.